Hey everybody. Yes, Dave, I do have a Discord um if you wanna contact me there. I'll try to contact me there. Alright. Sorry about that shot, guys. Yeah, we got 4 or 5 people in here, so that's good to see. How was your all weekend going? As always, of course, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. Um, okay. Okay, Dave Moore. 323. Try that. Did I read the number wrong? Let me see. Wow, you guys came on real quick here. Me 132 pound. Oh, okay. Maybe that's where I went wrong. One three two. Yeah, I just tried to send you a friend request, guys. I'll talk to you guys in a moment. Sorry about this. Dave was trying to give me some contact information here for him, so I did actually just try to send you a friend request, but maybe have to try another here. Let's see. Apparently, Discord's saying I can't find you, Dave. Let me make sure I'm reading that right. See, oh no, yeah, we did have Dave Marks. Well, hmm. All right. Well, that didn't work either. Okay. All right, Dave. We'll try to figure it out later, because, um, or maybe you can. I know maybe you can go through, like, I know Action Toys also. Um, maybe he can, like, send you a link to my Discord page. So, or something. So, anyways, let's see what you guys have been saying. Here we go again. Anyways. All right. So, hey, Mike. Let's see. Mike and Dave. I did some cleaning today. Weekend was fun. That's cool. How are you guys? Right. Leto. And Dave. Hello, Leto. And then let's see. Dave. And then Action put up Action put up Discord link, I guess. See what link that is. Okay. All right. Well, that will help too, I guess. Looks like Action put my Discord page up for me already, so that should work too. Fortunately, I'm making it. How about you, sir? Hey, solid buddy. How goes it? Okay. Discord channels. Hey, let's see. Hey, Leto. Hey, Mike. Hey, ATC. Hey, guys. Hopefully, everybody had a good weekend here. Think you will ever be able to drink Fanta again? Solid was asking somebody. Hi. Hey, Ransom. The Minds chat is terrible. I'm new to Discord, but it works. Yeah, I was just trying to find you, but apparently it was saying I was getting an error message. So glad Toys put link to my Discord page up there. Hey, Solid Action Ransom. Never ever. Hey, Ransom. Let's see. Why y'all using Discord? Well, let's get the show going. We can try this later. I can't even just post a post for you on Minds. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I mean, I wanted. There was something I was trying to communicate with you that I didn't want to, but we can try it later. the craters left from the dislikes bombing get smoothed out yet? Nope. In fact, you might notice it's going on right now, but basically, I'm just after talking to some other friends, I feel it's just best to just ignore it for now. You know, um, I think if we hopefully, I don't want to talk too much about it because I think as Backup mentioned Friday, as Dave mentioned as well, the more we talk about it, the more he wins. So, think we're gonna just try to ignore it for now, and just you know, so. What are the other options? No Twitter. Well, I have. Oh, you don't. If you don't have, yeah, I have Facebook, not Twitter though. But hey Toys, how goes it, buddy? Hi, Solid. You just get caught up on the same old. Let me just get caught up on these chats real quick, and then forget about it for now, Mike. That's basically what I'm gonna do. What I was planning on doing. I had a couple other ideas too. So, hello. Please forget out. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do here, Dave. Looks like another bombing. Yeah, guys. Let's just not talk about it at this point because there's nothing we can really do about it anyways at this point. So, let's just forget about it for now. I forgot about the lewd people message me on Discord. Laugh out loud. Yes, okay. Try that then. There we go. All right. All right. All right, Dev, got it now. So, anyways, let's get going. The hell is this? Yeah. Why Discord? Laugh out loud. All right, Dave. So I just sent you a reply message. I got your invite, so we should be connected now. I'll probably message you later what I was trying to message you over the weekend. So, and anyways, all right. So we're now 14 minutes into this. 5 people are here viewing, so that's good. So let's see what's on tap for tonight. We basically have okay, awesome. We have 4 stories tonight, all comics related, all from Bounding into Comics. Including Black Lightning creator Tony Isabella takes issue with Deathstroke. Questions why DC continues to publish comic book headlining a child molester. I have no idea what that's about, but I guess we'll all look into that. Titan Comics is going to publish the tie-in comic to the Cowboy Bebop live action movie, and of course, here's something here's if you guys want to have a good laugh. I don't know if any of you saw that picture that was revealed from Daniela, the actress who basically went to the person who basically who went off on the fans about Faye's clothing. Well, they did discover that she a few years ago wore a very similar outfit in another movie, and the picture has her basically on all fours, and she's got like a gaped mouth, looking at the camera, So it just got me thinking, man, she looks like she's about to get it done to her doggy style. So I just started calling her, from that point, doggy style Daniela. Don't know if you guys find that funny, but uh hmm. So anyways, yeah. Anyways, getting back to the article, getting ready to talk about what we're going to talk about here. At the also Facebook removes Bill, an artist by the name of Bill Sinkovic's anti-Comic Gate rant for violating community standards of harassment and bullying. Even Ben Skyver responds, and then ultra cringe moments from modern comic books. So those are basically the four stories we're going to be covering tonight. So before we say sorry, person you need is Nanny McPhee. Okay, whatever. Oof. It's a series. Yes, I saw. I posted those pictures. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I saw that, Dave, on mine. She does not look good in those photos. I thought she was built better. Yeah, I mean, the point being, Dave, is that she's being a bit of a hypocrite by criticizing the whole, when she's obviously done it before. She's doing it now because it's like just more chic to do it. Some anyway, me and many others. Be back in a few, some material to look over. Okay. She's not a horribly unattractive woman, a little stocky, but not ugly by any means. The real problem is always hypocrisy and the clothing in the clothing department. Yeah. I mean, from a physical standpoint, she is a very attractive woman. But I was watching the Quarterings video on it a little bit earlier, and even he was noting that she's physically, outwardly, she's a pretty attractive woman. There, nobody would argue that. In fact, that's his whole point, that nobody was saying that you know she would, they wanted her to be like an exact physical copy of Faye. Okay. She, in her own right, is a physically attractive woman. She's just very ugly on the inside. She's just proving that she's ugly on the inside, which at times counts for more than being attractive on the outside. So that's what the whole thing's about. I'll be in my bunk. Let's see. She was hot in Jurassic Park. All right. Yeah. Then we're going to. All right. So, anyways, let's get to these articles then. Let's get to these articles. I will share this in a moment here. Alrighty then, so here we go. First 4 articles tonight. first of 4 articles tonight. Here we go. And as always, guys, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. That does help with the algorithm. Hopefully, get some more people in here to watch. But anyways, without any further ado, let's get started with the articles here. Anyways, Black Lightning creator Tony Isabella takes issue with Deathstroke. Questions why DC continues to publish quote-unquote comic books headlining a child molester. Now, I wasn't aware that Deathstroke was a child molester in the comics. Now, granted, I did hear a while back that I guess post-crisis they did at one point make Toyman a child molester, but not Deathstroke. So that's the article by Spencer McCauley published this past Friday. So let's take a look and see what they have to say here. Tony Isabella is unhappy that DC Comics continues to use the character of Deathstroke, as the Black Lightning creator recently took issue with the publisher's continued use of a character he believes to be a quote-unquote child molester. So he himself believes that Deathstroke is a child. Maybe they're not writing him. Maybe not writing Deathstroke as a child molester. But apparently, this guy Tony Isabella thinks he's a child molester. So now, for those of you who don't know, Black Lightning was a character that was created back in the 70s. Basically, he's very similar in appearance and style to Static here in the late 90s, early Dwayne McDuffie's I can't even think of the name of the company now, but the imprint, but his Static line, and also not to be confused, of course, with Black Vulcan of Super Friends fame. Albeit they say that Black Vulcan was somewhat based on Black Lightning. So, anyways, so this is from Deathstroke, Volume 4, Number 27, Defiance, Chapter 6. On August 25th, seemingly apropos of nothing, Isabella took to both his Twitter and Facebook to ask his followers, quote, why does DC Comics continue to publish comic books headlining a child molester? Why hasn't the national media called them out on that? Unquote. Now, again, I would love to see how he's going to explain to us how Deathstroke is a child molester, because I've never heard anything of the sort. But let's see what happens here. Quote, it's Deathstroke, unquote, he clarified in a follow-up post. Quote, and that you didn't come up with that name immediately shows how much DC Comics has whitewashed one of the most inexcusable storylines to make a buck, unquote. Okay. Right, I'm not aware of this storyline that he's talking about, but let's see here. While the character is not currently headlining any currently published DC title, Deathstroke is set to headline the eponymously named Deathstroke Inc., a new 12-issue miniseries this December. Though Isabella does not specify which element of Deathstroke's history he considers to be child molestation, you see, and that's a problem, right? That's a problem right there. That's a problem right there. Okay, you're gonna accuse somebody of something like child molestation or some of the other vile things, that vile acts or crimes that are out there. What are you specifically talking about? And is what you're specifically talking about, one, is that just your own interpretation of it, or is that or could anybody make that interpretation of it within reasonable within reasonable expectations. So that's that's what I'm kind of. It's assumed that the author is referencing the supervillain slash assassin's previous relationship with the 15, 16-year-old, depending on the given story chronology, Tara Markoff, as depicted in Marv Wolfman and George Perez's now iconic 1980s New Teen Titans storyline, The Judas Contract. Okay, 15, 16. The only problem there is some states and even some countries have age of consent as young as 15 or 16. So, in fact, 31 states and DC and the District of Columbia here in the States, 16 is the age of consent. So, all relative. The New Teen Titans Volume 1, number 39, Crossroads, 1984 DC comic, words by Marv Wolfman, art by George Perez, Romeo. Tara and Deathstroke's relationship has been an established fact of continuity for some time. But recently, DC decided, quote, to up the ante, unquote, or unsmall quote, so to speak, in regards to how the villain's treatment of his underage lover is discussed. Before I go on, I want to see what you guys have been saying about this, just because I don't know if some of you want to see just what you guys might be saying. Yellow shorts, how hard would he die? Wish I was hot and tall. Wait. Key toys. Alright. I'm just because I didn't wanted to make sure. I know. This is getting. Remember the Teen Titans Deathstroke? I think the animated movie, Tara was seducing him in lingerie, and I think he was into it to manipulate her. He was a bad guy after all. Mm-hmm. That story is so hanging old now. Yeah. I mean, apparently, I guess this is back in the 80s. We're now in, so that's like 4 decades ago. And now he's having an issue with it. But yeah, he is, laugh out loud. Almost no other interpretation has him in a romance with Tara. Most modern folks will only remember the Cartoon Network show where Slade just because basically you have a good point there, Dave, because basically he may have been grooming him, but he wasn't grooming him for sex. He was grooming him to be more like him in terms of kind of an evil, megalomaniacal villain. Okay. That's how he was grooming him. He wasn't grooming him for sex. Okay. I think we saw in, of course, he did it to Tara, and then he was trying to do it to Robin as well. Okay. Oh, was it Slade? Yeah, Slade. Slade is who we're talking about there. So Slade is who. Yeah. In the comics, Deathstroke's real name was revealed at some point to be Slade Wilson. So, in 2021's The Other History of the DC Universe, Volume 1, Number 3, Future State, the next Batman author and 12 years a slave screenwriter John Ridley declared, through a lens of regular Outsiders member um, Katana that, quote, Slade Wilson arped Tara Markov. This is from the other history of the DC universe. Now again, though, here's the thing, though. The writers of Future State may have a different interpretation than Marv Wolfman and George Perez did back in the 80s of their relationship. Okay, so that's something to take into consideration too. Quote, not with physical force, unquote, Katana continues her recollection. During the issue, quote, he coerced an underage, mentally unstable girl into having sexual relations with him again and again and again, and Slade used that sexual dominance to manipulate Tara, unquote. Now, again, within context here, you have to understand that Future State is a separate universe from the universe that we had back in the 80s. Okay? Maybe in the Future State universe, that's the way it went, but in pre-crisis, I don't think it went that way. Okay? So, again, matter of perspective there. So, we continue on with the article here. Quote, basically, Tara was trafficked, unquote. The superheroine asserts, quote, for many years, Brian, a.k.a. the hero known as G-Force in brackets, would have to deal with his half-sister being remembered as a duplicitous sociopath, unquote. Brian Markov, who was in the comics the brother of Tara. Ridley then takes a swing at both fans of Deathstroke and creators who have continued to use the character in their stories, writing, quote, that was made all the more painful as Deathstroke developed a cult following for being a, quote, in smaller quotes, badass, and a smaller quotes, man's man, but rarely was he called out for being what he was, a P-word arpist. Again, though, did he act? Did back in the 80s there? Did he actually have a? Did they actually have him having a sexual relationship with her, or was it more of a, or was it just simply more of a, you know, fitness? Plus, you're talking again about a 15, 16-year-old, where, and even in some parts of our country, the age of consent is as young as 16. Some parts of the world is 15. So, robot, so many world. 12 years of Slade. I Slade. Laugh out loud. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it sounds like, well, them going after Slade sounds like SJW just once again doing their thing, just trying to trash on everything that, that's, some more stuff that's traditional. But it should be noted, as seen in writer Christopher Priest's 2018 run on Deathstroke, the original The Judas Contract storyline has been slightly retconned since its initial publication, and as such, in current DC continuity, Deathstroke never actually slept with the underage Tara. Get dressed, get out. You're kidding, right? Tara, I'm not one of your marks. Just stick to the plan. However, after receiving a fair amount of pushback from readers, Isabella announced that he had, quote, deleted the Deathstroke tweet because, to be honest, it's making me sick to my stomach. See DC Comics apologist in action, unquote. Yeah, well, again, it's had to understand context too, I believe. So, I mean, if he didn't want to talk about it, he should not have even brought it up in the first place. But surprisingly, one such quote unquote apologist was Kingdom Come and 52 writer Mark Waid, who, after offering his own opinion to Isabella, um, which has since been deleted alongside Isabella's initial Facebook post, concluded, quote, sorry you felt that way, Tony, unquote. Quote, clearly this specific thing is a hot button issue for you, unquote. He added, quote, and you know that I, of all people, do not fit the category, unquote, quote, unquote, DC Comics apologist. So I'll assume that referred to others. What do you make of Isabella's issue with Deathstroke? Let us know your thoughts on so. Um, I mean, how many people actually really knew that Deathstroke? First off, again, I don't know. Did he actually sleep with Tara? And then how old was she when if they did sleep together in that sense? How old was she? What was the age of consent in that state at the time? You know, it's kind of the problem. People just it's like people have this idea that 18 is this magical number that's universal. Yeah, yeah. It's here in the United States, federally, 18 is age of consent, but but only 12 states of the 50 um, actually have it at the state level as well. 31 in the District of Columbia have it at 16, and then 17 is in the other 7 states. I think a lot of times when people talk about this, they kind of get a little twisted in between the legality of the issue and the morality of the issue. I think first out, they need to, on something like this, you need to be clear on what you're talking about. Okay. Are you coming at this from a legal perspective? Or are you coming at it from a moral perspective? Okay. That I think is the whole problem with the conversation. A lot of times, that's been the problem with the conversation the last few years here, as more of these issues have come up. Throughout many of the genres. Let's see what you guys have been. Let's see, I saw all that. Bad guys weren't good. In other news, water is moist. Yeah, I mean, well, you make a good point there too, Dave. Is that he probably obviously he's a bad guy. He's a villain, so he's not going to care. Even if let's say she was classified as being underage and all that, he's not going to care anyways. He's breaking the law to begin with. So, he's breaking other laws, but they are just projecting what they. Yeah, that might be true. That I think that's very much true. But that could be said for a lot of things with what they do. I did not know this detail. It doesn't bother me because it's not real. Uh, yeah. I mean, again, it would probably, again, it's something that you'd have to decide for yourself if you ever happen to find yourself entering that world. Granted, chances are, none of us are really going to actually do that, but you never know. You might wake up one day, you might be in the DCU, and then maybe you might have, um, oh no, the ink blots slept together. uh, he's breaking laws and breaking. Amen. Save the bastard. Oh boy, a little colorful there. But of course, this whole article has been kind of colorful. All right. So anyway, so we got through that one. Um, so let's prepare to move on to the next article then here. All right. Alrighty then. So, all right. So let's get on. I'm sorry. Let me just get on to the next article here. Okay. So here we go. So here's the next article we're going to look at. Titan Comics to publish Cowboy Bebop tie-in comics and novels for Netflix's upcoming live-action adaptation. And of course, we were talking a little bit about this earlier. I gave Daniela Pineda the little nickname Doggy Style Daniela. You guys know that picture. So, anyways, article was written by John F. Trent, published this past Friday in the books and comic book section. So, anyway, so here we go. Titan Comics announced they will be publishing a number of tie-in comics and novels for the upcoming live-action adaptation of Cowboy Bebop from Netflix. And then, of course, here's the picture that is one of the pictures we've seen. All this from the live action. John Cho as Spike Spencer, Mustafa Shakir as Jet Black, and Daniela Pineda as Faye Valentine. And I guess there's two L's in her name, not one. There was only one. But anyways, Netflix's Cowboy Bebop follows the adventures of three bounty hunters, aka in the smaller quotes, cowboys, all trying to I get. I think. Oh wait, there's probably a little speck on the screen here. Okay, outrun the past. As different as they are deadly, Spike Spiegel, played by John Cho, Jet Black, played by Mustafa Shakir, and Faye Valentine, played by Daniela Pineda, form a scrappy, snarky crew, ready to hunt down the solar system's most dangerous criminals for the right price. But they can only kick and quip their way out of so many scuffles before their past finally catch up with them. The tie-in comics and novels include a prequel novel, a making of book, and a brand new comic series. Cowboy Bebop, quote, a syndicate story, or I'm sorry, Cowboy Bebop, colon, a syndicate story, colon, Red Planet Requiem by Sean Cummings, a prequel to the Netflix series, Titan Books. First Titan Comics will publish a prequel novel, Cowboy Bebop's a syndicate story, Red Planet Requiem. This novel is written by the show's staff writer, Sean Cummins. Titan Comics reveals the novel will explore the rich history of Cowboy Bebop through the eyes of a young Spike Spiegel and Vicious, unquote. Cowboy Bebop, a syndicate story, Red Planet Requiem, will be available to purchase in November. It will retail for $15.95. It is 320 pages in length. Wow, that's a big book. It's more graphic novel size, I would think. Cowboy Bebop making the Netflix series. They're actually writing a book about that. Okay. Next, Titan will publish Cowboy Bebop making the Netflix series. This book will capture, quote, the epic journey behind the scenes of Netflix's live action Cowboy Bebop adaptation. Unquote. So let me ask you guys something. You really want to read a book about how they're making how they're wokeicizing a classic anime? Does anybody here really want to read something like that? It will feature a foreword from the show's showrunner, Andrei Nemec, and is, quote, packed full of beautiful concept art, unquote. The book also includes, quote, revealing behind the scenes photography, unquote, as well as cast and crew comments about how one of the most influential anime series of all time has translated over to live action, unquote. The book will be available to purchase sometime in spring 2022. It will retail for $39.95. It is 175 pages. And like, okay, so a book that's only 175 pages is more expensive than a comic that's 325. Okay. Well, they obviously want the comic to sell. That much seems pretty clear. By making that cheaper, even though it's like more pages. Cowboy Bebop, the comic series. There it is. And it looks like they're gonna, if this concept art is right, it looks like they're gonna give Faye purple hair here. Another woke signature. Finally, Titan also revealed a new comic series that they promise titled Cowboy Bebop, the comic series. The series is, quote, set in the year 2161. The bounty hunter crew of the spaceship Bebop chase an ex-gang member who holds a vest which gives the wearer unlimited, unquote. I had imagined that meant to say unlimited power, but the series is written by Dan Waters, will feature artwork by Lamar Mathern. It will also feature a number of covers, include one by Stanley, quote unquote, Art Germ Lau. Art Germ, that's an interesting nickname. Art Germ? Dude, you really want to call yourself an art germ? That's kind of an interesting nickname there. The first issue of the series will be available to purchase in December 2021 with a collected trade paperback in May 2022. There's John Cho as Spike Spiegel. Do you plan on checking out any of these tie-in books or the comic book series? I'm not sure. I'll probably report on it. If there's anything to report on, but other than that, there we go with that one. Oh, look, Robert Roberts is here. Hey, Robert, how you doing, man? Glad you're here. So let's see what you guys. Okay, oops. Hey Mike, I sent you a couple of pictures where I tried to edit Faye's costume. I'll check them out probably after the stream tonight, Dave. I'm not sure if it's woke yet. I'm still trying to believe. I'm just hoping it's just her stupid outfit that's terrible and her attitude that's woke. But when she's acting, I hope she shuts up and plays. Yeah, actually, there were some other things that I know a couple of commentators were saying in regards to like all the hoopla over like her costume and stuff. Well, okay, I think in fact I probably saw this when I decided to watch Crows of Judgment coverage of this particular story. Um, as a female bounty hunter, Faye is naturally physically weaker than most of her targets, as most of her targets are males. So she's not gonna outmuscle most of her targets. Okay, about the most effective thing she could do physically to them in terms of in a fight would probably to kick them in the nether region, if you get what I mean. Okay, so she has to be a little bit more sly. She has to use a little femme fatale means, instead of hitting them with salt, she's got to get them with sugar. You get what I mean? So that's kind of something I saw there. We saw that, I believe. Let's see. The part, yeah. Hey Robert, how you doing? Titan Comics is converged woke garbage crap. Their series often have great premises, but they feminazi it. Okay, feminize it. Okay. Um, and as always, guys, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. That does help with the algorithm. Hopefully, we can get some more people in to watch the stream here. Glad we have 5 people here tonight. So SOB, don't tell me that, Roberts. Oh boy. Anyway, I saw a thing Watanabe way at the beginning of production saw the outline of the show, offered suggestions, and then went on to say he really hopes they take his advice. Well, I don't think they did, and I know what you're talking about, Dave, because actually, Hiro Hay recently did a video on that. I saw that, so I did hear about that. So yeah, that hit. If they don't, it won't be the same at. Yeah, and I don't think they did, Dave. That's my guess. But it's not his hands. Quote, right to Sunrise Inc. Yeah, that's basically what he said because I said Hiro Hay did a video on that earlier today. I spotted Robert in Engeltein's stream. Yeah, and Robert comes to us from Critical Blast as well. Robert's a subscriber over there as well, so seen him over there as well. So I was on RJ on the open mic night last night, of course, and we had a good time talking about a bunch of stuff over the last week. So, you all doom pilling me, Robert. Sorry, Leto, just telling the truth. What is Engeltein? Anyways, where are we at on time here? Okay, so we're almost at the hour mark here. Okay, so anyways, we'll move on to the next story here. Moving on to the next story here. All right, so here's the next story. Facebook removes Bill Sinkovich's anti-comics gate rant for violating community standards on harassment and bullying. Ethan Van Sciver reacts. Article by John F. Trent published this past Friday. So John Trent was busy this Friday. Anyway, so let's get into this article now. Artist Bill Sinkovich, known for his work on Marvel Comics Moon Knight, Marvel Comics Moon Knight, New Mutants, and Elektra, Assassin. I guess that's supposed to say assassin, but some kind of misprint there. Recently revealed that his 2018 anti-Comicsgate rant was removed from Facebook for violating the company's quote community standards on harassment and bullying unquote. 3 years after he put it up, they removed it. Okay, I kind of wonder what it said. If it was really. Sinkovich posted the rant to Facebook back in August 2018. So yeah, 3 years ago. It began, quote, to comics gators, but also to general friends and colleagues in arms. Profuse profanity to follow. Be advised. So this guy is obviously not a member of Comicsgate. Sinkovich then wrote, quote, to begin, I'm convinced comics chose me as a practitioner, emissary, evangelist, what have you, rather than the other way around. Oh, this guy sounds like he's got a god complex, doesn't he? Perhaps that's why I tend to view most other creators through a similar lens. Whatever the actual oh boy. It sounds like he's got the same problem as guys like Dan Slott and Dan Slott and Gail Simone and Mike Toole and Remphamus. You know, he sounds like he's got a god. They sound like they got a god complex. Like when they bend over, you should automatically get down on your hands and knees and pucker up. No, thank you. I'd rather do what The Rock tends to like to do when people do that. And I think you all know what that is. Anyways, as we continue on with the okay, whatever the actual reason people create comics, tell stories, live in this world, it's still a wonderful calling. Creators are a family. Every voice is unique and necessary. Okay. He continued. That said, comics sure as hell didn't choose the so-called Comicsgate contingent to promote hateful, misogynistic, and plain old ugly dogma. Oh boy. No, these quote and smaller quote gators, you guys, you brought that ugliness all by yourselves, unquote. Quote, to be honest, I just don't get your deal. Are you so insecure, so afraid, so fearful of the prospect of daring the, in little quote, incel moniker, or by sharing creative space with someone with a more estrogen? I don't think that's the case at all. Estrogen than you, that you're all somehow threatened to your very well. First off, I've seen a few female members of Comicsgate as well, so this dude doesn't know what he's talking about. To your very manhood or your livelihood, how superheroic of you, unquote, he wrote. Well, it sounds like it is a good thing that they took it down then. But But then I've been hearing too that Facebook and Twitter may start even taking some of their own people down to at least make it appear that they're being fair. He then asserted, quote, I'd ask you to explain it to me, but frankly, what I've heard from your quarter already bores me as well as just plain pees me off. I bleeping despite bullies count. uh, look in the mirror, dude. Look in the mirror. Quote, what you're each promoting individually is not some divine creative dispensation. It's that you being a hole. Collectively, you're gagging. Uh, Collectively, you're a gaggle, a clan, potentially with a K, unsubtle as that may be. Okay, this guy just spewing off the normal woke SJW baloney. A veritable bag's worth of douches. Whatever the name you give for your assembly, you're not the Avengers. You're still just a bunch of a-holes, unquote, the artist asserted. I'm kind of wondering how EVS responded to this. The rant continued, quote, comics isn't a boys' club. It's not, quote, no, insert ethnic group, gender, religion, sexual preference here allowed. Quote, in smaller quotes, it's a club, it's a meeting place, a forum for creators of all stripes, like a real life legion of superheroes or a Justice League. Oh boy, this guy, I think somebody should just put the straight jacket on this turkey. Only with pen and ink paper and in Cintiqs and laptops and, quote, stop being the creepy, racist, misogynist uncles showing up at reunions and pissing in the punch bowl. Oh God. To disprove your beta standing, not being the weird cousins the entire world points to as a definition of every, in small quotes, comic book nerd stereotype, or do it far away from us, unquote, he wrote. Oh boy. Quote, stop being whiny, misunderstood. Projection there, buddy. Misunderstood victims being about favoritism, intolerance, and sexism. You're singing inky black aspersions, obviously crying racism in your. No, you're the ones crying racism, dude. You're the ones crying racism. Quote, you're a D right, some correctness need to be made, starting with the guys in the mirror first, unquote. This guy's definitely projecting. Quote, so stop being awful ambassadors to the worst of our natures. Stop being brown. Look at how much projection is going on coming out of this guy's mouth. Stop being GD ugly genitalia and to rejigger an ugly phrase you show at women. I'm instead going to channel it here in the spirit of my Aussie friend. Stop being such an insufferable, clueless, whatever that word is, he proclaimed. Sinkovich concluded the rant, quote, the medium didn't call on you to be the best version of a-hole or rear ends, You could be. Neither did we. Knock it off. Either step up or step off. We comics and the audience will absolutely fine will be absolutely fine with that. Well, actually, a lot of that audience you're talking to is actually siding more with the confiscators, dude. They're actually buying more of like EBS's stuff and the other confiscated stuff than yours, dude. And you won't be missed 1D bit. Sinkovich recently revealed that the anti-confiscate rant was removed by Facebook. He posted, quote, apparently my 2018 open letter to the confiscate crowd has received renewed attention. It also now violates Facebook's community standards against profanity and bullying. I really think they missed the point, unquote. No, what I think is happening is that Facebook is trying to appear fair. So that's why they're going. That's why they're going after this, because they're basically trying to be fair. They want people to stop looking at them like, oh, you're just knocking down all the confiscators, but you're not really saying anything about your side. So they're trying. I think they're trying to be fair, or trying to appear to be fair. The artist then proceeded to share a screenshot of Facebook informing him, quote, your post goes against our community standards on harassment and bullying. No one else can see your post. We have these standards because we want everyone on Facebook to feel respected and welcome, unquote. And now they're like kind of censoring their own. It's like, yeah, you're screaming censor the conservative or censor the people who don't agree with us. Now that you're getting it, now you're gonna whine about it. All right, so prominent member of Comicsgate and the creator of Cyberfrog, Ethan Van Sciver, reacted to Facebook's removal of Sinkovich's rant on Twitter. Van Sciver wrote, quote, one of the saddest aspects of becoming hashtag Comicsgate and having my eyes open to the nature of cancel culture and what had happened to my beloved comics industry was discovering how desperate and low IQ so many of my peers were. How could such gifted people be this ugly inside? Wow. That's a pretty damning statement right there. That's a pretty damning statement right there. He continued, quote, one in particular, a man who had created so many wondrously strange images, Bill Sinkovich, had become so deranged with lowbrow leftist politics that he seemed to be seething with bovine. For those of you who don't know what the word bovine means, that basically means cow. It's basically calling him a cow. Stupid hatred for transitory political figures or Fox News host. He seemed possessed, unquote. Like so many of the anti-confiscators and SJWs. Quote, in 2018, at the height of the tension surrounding the confiscate movement, he and other comic bros were all busy trying to impress each other with deranged and vulgar screeds about the small group of customers and pros who opposed the omnipresent left-wing activism in comics, unquote. The Cyberfrog creator tweeted. He went on, quote, that year Bill Sinkovich excreted a lengthy diatribe of vulgar, ugly, dishonest, and vile garbage for Facebook to be shared by other imbeciles in order to ensure that anyone interested in Comicsgate would be viciously excluded for whatever social circuits they could gatekeep. Van Sciver then wrote, quote, with the bizarre recent uptick in SJW social media interest in Comicsgate, probably owing to Substack contracts, mass exodus from the mainstream of the most popular creators, the Superman is gay scoop, and our continued success, Bill's ugly cope rant began circulating again, unquote. He tweeted, quote, until Facebook removed it from their platform for, quote, profanity and bullying, unquote, yesterday, Consgate has survived some of the most obnoxious abuse at the hands of these people. The endless gaslighting, the lies, the rumors, defamation, and cruelty in the name of what exactly? Unquote. Quote, diversity and inclusion? Unquote. Um, what an absolutely repugnant lie. SJWs want uniformity, control, and to exclude and destroy anyone who opposes them. They become inhuman in all of these efforts, as Facebook clearly and impartially decided yesterday. Unquote. Well, okay, that's probably one of the few things that Facebook's done right in recent years. And again, I think it's only because they want to appear to be fair. Because we've seen that they've been kind of, they maybe not as much as like Twitter and some other platforms, but they've been going after people on the right as well. I mean, look, even Donald Trump got banned from Facebook. So the former Green Lantern artist proclaimed. He then relayed, quote, I've learned to pity them. The most beautiful art used to come from people who are now too stupid to feed themselves, who exist to be exploited by large corporations and to be misdirected and dehumanized by the propaganda they help create. Confiscate will win, of course, unquote. Keep on keeping on. And Skyler concluded, quote, in the meantime, enjoy this small victory. Facebook read the belligerent, stupid, awful, um, created by a lost, sad man flailing with rage. Flailing means like this. Like this is flailing. That's flailing. That's what he means by that. At his former customers and fans. And they decided Bill Sienkiewicz and his allies were the bullies. Hashtag Comicsgate. What do you make of Facebook's decision to remove Sienkiewicz's anti-Comicsgate rant? What do you make of Van Sciver's? Well, again, I've been saying what I thought of their removal. I think it's so they can appear to be fair. I think, if anything, they secretly like the fact that he probably went off on Comicsgate. I think, a lot of the people. I think what they want. I think they're seeing people's reactions, how people are not buying their baloney, so they want to appear to be fair to try to draw people back in. As for as for Van Sciver's response, I think it was pretty spot on there. I think that was a pretty good response. You can see why EVS is considered a leader of that community. So, anyways, before we get to the last article, let me get caught up here on some of the conversation here. Let's see now. You guys were really talking a lot. I was just kind of trying to go. All right. Well, hey, Backgoat, I see that you're here, man. Thank you for dropping in. And hello, NASCAR Jeremy. Thank you for dropping in as well. Yeah. So, let's see, man. You guys have been talking up a storm here. Why? Let me get caught up on the last. That's so funny to hear. Out loud, Superman is. Well, yeah, that's been a story that's been going on for the last. That's wild, Dave. Peak clownery. Yep, that is what it is, Dave. Let's see. He's going to use his laser eyes to make cables. That's pretty funny. Flailing the back goat throw disc. Yeah. EVS makes them mad. It's glorious. Yep. As I said, Back Goat, that was a good response that he did. Don't lie, Back Goat. You do trick shots. 360 bullseyes under the leg. Laugh out loud. Totally. All right, so we did get caught up on a few of them. We're at the hour 17 mark here. So we've done through 3 of the 4 stories. So yeah, so basically, glad you've all been here. So we have one more story, and we'll probably start to actually wrap up a bit. Anyways, so let's get to this last story. Okay, so ultra cringe moments from modern comic books. Article written by John F. Trent, published today. Modern comic books aren't really fun anymore, especially those at Marvel and DC Comics. They become more about cringe. This turn to cringe is one of the main reasons why the medium is getting absolutely slaughtered by Japanese manga every single month in sales. And we know that Flash has been talking quite about this quite a bit too. Today, we're going to list the most ultra cringe moments from modern comic books. The list will be an ongoing list as it does not appear modern comics will be letting their foot off the cringe pedal anytime soon. Watch part 1. Oh God, yeah, you've got Hillary Clinton. Number 1, Faith number 5, Valiant Election 2016 special. Valiant wasn't that the one that got driven into the ground by Heather Antos? I believe Yellow Flash is mentioning that. Back in 2016, Valiant Comics published Faith number 5, a 48-page election special. In one of the stories, Faith Zephyr Herbert saved failed presidential candidate Hillary Clinton from a superpowered burglar who decided to destroy his own helicopter and send it crashing down on Clinton at a political rally. Oh boy. The book was written by Jody Hauser and Louise Simonson and Rafer Roberts with art by Megan Hetrick, Pere Perez, and Colleen Doran. Oh, these must have all been women who were like on their knees before Hillary. They were Hillary acolytes. The Clinton story called "Faith in Politics." Oh boy, was specifically written by Simonson with art by Perez, not George Perez. Um, Pere Perez. 2. Modak. Modoc or Modak. Modaak. I guess it's pronounced yeah. Also in 2016, Marvel Comics published their Spider-Gwen Annual #1, featuring a story introducing a new villain called Modak, written by Jason Latour. Modak, I guess they're a version of Modoc. And art by Chris Visions. In the book, Latour and Visions basically turned Marvel's infamous villain Modoc into President Donald Trump and called him Modak, or mental organism designed as America's king. Really? Really? Oh, brother. Okay, now I see kind of the resemblance. Oh, yeah. In the final pages of the story, the book just shows a female version of Sam Wilson as Captain America pummeling Modak. Oh, God, that just looks so stupid. Oh my God, that just looks so freaking stupid. Man, these people must have had, I hate to use the term because it's kind of a crude term, but man, these people just seem to have such a hate boner for Donald Trump, for President Trump. Oh my God. Of course, how can a woman have a hate boner, right? Or have a boner of any type? But, anyways, let's see how they all responded to that one. Hold it. Hold what? All right. Did I? Under yeah. Too low. Okay. Anyways, let's see now. Just checking to see if there's anything I should be aware of. Like how you guys are just talking simply about stuff going on with Nick, which is fine. Let's see. Okay. All right. Anyways, back to the article then. Iceman. Number 3, Iceman. I think I know what this is about because I know RJ of Critical Blast probably mentioned this too. Let me see if this is what I think it is. In March of 2016, Marvel Comics turned Bobby Drake, aka Iceman, gay. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. In the pages of Uncanny X-Men number 600 by Brian Michael Bendover Bendis, Sarah Pichelli, Mahmoud Azrar, Stuart Immelman, Chris Anka, Chris Bachalo, David Marquez, and Fraser Irving. However, before they turned Bobby Drake gay in Uncanny X-Men number 600, they made a younger version of himself gay by Jean Grey reading his mind in all X-Men number 40 by Brian Michael Bendis and Mahmoud Azrar. I wonder if Mr. Bendis and Mr. Azrar are maybe doing something, but never mind. I don't think any of us see that picture. Anyway, sorry, guys. Then in the pages of Uncanny X-Men number 600, this younger, now gay version of Bobby Drake confronts the other version of Bobby Drake and asks him if he is gay. It turns out he is too. New Warriors, and we all remember this one. I think we all remember. This is the one it's that one, all right. Oh, I remember how Flash was just roasting this last year, or maybe even a couple years ago now. While Marvel has yet to publish their New Warriors title from Daniel Kibblesmith, that's an interesting name, Kibblesmith, and artist Luciano Vecchio, the company heavily promoted the book back in March 2020. So yeah, it was last year, with the introduction of new characters named Screen Time, B Negative, Trailblazer, Snowflake, and Safe Space. Sure, we all remember the hilarity we had over this one. The book's writer, Daniel Kibblesmith, Gibbles and Bits, explained why he decided on Screen Time, Safe Space, and Snowflake, saying Snowflake and Safe Space are the twins and their names are very similar to Screen Time. It's this idea that these are terms that get thrown around on the internet that they don't see as derogatory. They, in brackets, take those words and kind of wear them as badges of honor. Not only are the names super cringe, but Marvel explained that Screen Time got its superpowers from quote unquote experimental internet gas. So basically, like a computer passing gas gave him his superpowers. Think about that. Think about that, guys. Look at your computer and just think, could my computer be passing gas? Oh boy. Oh yeah, Alan Scott. This is another one that was more recent. This one's like within the last few months here. Next, let's see. Laugh out loud. False prophet. Ash roar. A whole comic about gay stuff. Cool lefties. Totally original and new. Experimental internet gas. Yeah. Yeah. The computer decided to pass gas and he gets his superpowers. I will never forget that. Trailblazer, snack pack, PC fart. Yeah. Yeah. Back up. Internet in a can. Yeah. Rehydrated. Man, you should say these for Friday, Dave. Sure, you'd really be killing the Lowell's trophy if you had to come out with this stuff then. Condensed internet, internet puree, um, sauteed internet. Okay, yeah. Anyway, let's get back to this. Okay, Alan Scott, which this story, I know this one. They decided to make Alan Scott gay in the future state storyline here, or whatever this stuff is right now. In Infinite Frontier #0, writer James Tynion IV and artist Stephen Byrne made the original Green Lantern, Alan Scott, gay, despite him being in multiple relationships with women and having 2 kids. Which is true. I know the fact that Alan Scott, pre-crisis, was, and maybe post-crisis, in fact, married twice. He was married once to Rose Canton, aka Alex Florin, who was one of the Golden Age Flash's archenemy, Thorn, who he birthed twins, Todd Rice and can't remember the Jenny Lynn Hayden, aka Obsidian, and I can't even remember her name now, but her Jade and Obsidian. But then he married one of his rogues, kind of like Batman did with Catwoman. He married Molly Mayne, who was his rogue Harlequin. Not to be confused with Harley Quinn, but she was known as Harlequin back in the Golden Age. So, anyway, so Tynion even has Scott say, quote, "Back in an earlier time, I kept a part of myself hidden from my friends and peers. I even let myself get married a few times to women I did love with all my mind, but I did that knowing there was something about myself I was hiding away," unquote. Yeah, I really hate this modern interpretation of a lot of that stuff. Yeah. He then tells his 2 kids, Jade and Obsidian, that he's gay. Oh, there you go. There are the cringe moments. On-day cringe moments there. So, I just had 4 stories for tonight, guys. Just because I was wanting to try to end a little early tonight. So hopefully you guys had fun tonight with this. Let's see. Duck a la internet. Duck. Internet kebab. Sorry, I was in the restroom. Internet scented candles. Yeah. Internet under glass. Internet bisque. Well, that was gay. I'm dead. Bulls on Ricada tonight. I hate gay guys that come out knowing that they had wives. They lied to their wives. Yeah, basically that's what Tanyan was trying to do there. correction, null. We're joking here, having a yeah. I know. Cool, solid. I'll be there. Hey, Batgoat, did you get my message the other day? Null is a KF guy. Batgoat, did you get my message the other day? I didn't. I'll check. Yeah, he is. All right. All right. Well, anyways, guys, as I said, I did want to try to end a little early tonight. So are you guys ready for this day in each history? All right. So, Null is one of the most knowledgeable people on the madness of Christian history. Nietzsche time. If I can stay awake, I'll check them out. Nietzsche, oh great Nietzsche King. All right. So, anyways, without any further ado, today is Monday, August 31st. So we're almost out of September here, and after this, of course, I have a couple of announcements, and I'll just wrap it up. So today being Monday, August the 30th, 2021, let's take a look back at this day in Nietzsche history. And of course, our first stop, we're going to actually head back 80 years ago today, as on this date in 1941, Bob Clampett's The Henpecked Duck debuted in theaters. A Warner Brothers Looney Tunes cartoon directed by Bob Clampett, written by Warren Foster. On this day 80 years ago, starring Porky Pig and Daffy Duck. The film is set in a courtroom where Daffy tries to save his marriage after losing his wife's egg. So, on this day 80 years ago, The Henpecked Duck, directed by Bob Clampett, premiered on this date 80 years ago, back in 1941. So, with that, let's move on to the next bit of Nietzsche history. On this date in 2006, the 75th issue of Betty and Veronica Spectacular from Archie Comics went on sale on this date in 2006. So 15 years ago today, from Archie Comics, the Betty and Veronica Spectacular number 75 went on sale on this date for $2.25 and was 32 pages. So there you go with that. And finally, on this date 10 years ago today, a special live SmackDown from the Intrust Bank Arena in Wichita, Kansas, what they called Super SmackDown at that point, was broadcast on this day. It was, of course, it was live. So a special live SmackDown on this date from Intrust Bank in Wichita, Canada, or Wichita, Kansas. Sorry, Wichita, Kansas. The main event saw World Heavyweight Champion Randy Orton defeat Christian in a steel cage match. Also, you saw Sheamus defeat the Great Khali via DQ. Natalia and Beth Phoenix defeated Kelly and Alicia Fox. Sin Cara defeated Daniel Bryan, and then John Cena defeated Wade Barrett. So, special live SmackDown on this date 10 years ago. On this date 10 years ago. So that's all that we have for you tonight on that portion. Couple quick reminders before we head. Let's see what Dave had to say here. I had crushes on Betty and Veronica as like a 10-year-old. Yep. Okay. Sure, a lot of people did, Dave. Wouldn't mind visiting that world. Archie world. Anyways, guys, so a couple of quick little announcements before we head out here. First off, don't forget this Friday, Batcoat and I will be doing, of course, the historical comic retrospect. We'll be getting into April of 1938, in which we'll be looking at DC. I was doing some pre-search today, so we're going to be reading, Slam Bradley, Speed Saunders, Dr. Occult, and then also what I discovered is probably the first intertitle crossover happened in New Adventure Comics number 26. We're going to read that, in which the Radio Squad actually guest starred in the Federal Men feature with Steve Carson. So I'm looking forward to reading that one and looking over that one with you guys. So, and then, of course, they'll have this regular Radio Squad feature as well. More fun. So that, and then also, guys, don't forget, 1 week from today is our next open mic night. And I hope you all will join me in studio and we can talk about, just bring up random topics along the niche, anime, cartoons, comics, manga, and all that. So hope you guys will be here next week, ready to participate, ready to partake in the conversation. Anyways, guys, thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys being here. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.